the Penguin has made me more invested in the Matt Reeves universe than the Batman did, if I'm honest.
And how about that ending?
BD here, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in this video we are talking about episode 3 of The Penguin. I will share my thoughts on the episode, the exact moment I think it became an Emmy Awards nominee, in my opinion, the small detail that is influencing my biggest prediction about where this is all going, and some comments from last week and how they applied to this week. So share your thoughts in the comments, and let's get started on this. But first, make sure you're subscribed, because we just crossed 25,000 subscribers. That means the world to me, and this has been awesome. First of all, while most of this video is going to praise Colin, Farrell, and Cristin Milioti's work as Penguin and Sophia, I have to start with love for Victor Aguilar. Rhenzy Feliz is playing this character. You might know him from Encanto before this. You might also have seen him in Marvel's Runaways show. He is absolutely the emotional beating heart of the Penguin, and without him, this show would not be reaching the heights that it is. Shout out to NSabanur827 from last week's video in the comment section where he suggested Vic is going to learn Oz's ways and ultimately use his own tactics against him. But man, wouldn't this be something? What if Victor Aguilar turns out to be a DC Comics villain just with a slightly different name? I saw a theory online that he might be Victor Zsasz. Tremendously brutal Batman villain. His parents died in a boating accident, which, as we're about to talk about, this Victor's parents died in a flood in Gotham. I mean, that's kind of close enough. Water-related deaths. And they're both named Victor. So what do you think? Are you buying that theory that maybe Victor Aguilar is going to grow up to be Victor Zsasz? By the way, this is 3 weeks in a row where I've loved the opening of the episodes and how they have direct callbacks to things we saw in the Batman. This time it started with the explosions and the flooding of Gotham when the Riddler pulled his whole plan off from Victor and his family's perspective. This is such a brilliantly immersive and world-building move for the Batman universe. I feel like I know this Gotham City so well. But more importantly, this is development for Vic's character. We instantly know he has so much survivor's guilt because of how his last conversation with his family went, how he tried to call his mom, how he essentially had to watch them die as that flood hit their apartment. And then just like that, Victor is flipped on his head morally because now he's enjoying this life of crime, this gangster life, the opportunity, the nice dinners, the attention from women at the club, all this stuff, feeling like the cool guy. He officially chose to stay with Oz. The moment with Oz and Vic talking at the club, when Oz makes the metaphorical feeling that Vic is feeling a reality, like literally is just like, you think this is what's going on? You're making me sympathize with the Penguin. This is a villain. Oz wasn't mad. It seemed like Oz was hurt. And to be honest, my heart was like breaking for Oz when Vic was leaving because I was like, man, he's actually being vulnerable with this kid. He sees a little bit of himself in this kid. He's trying to put him on in a way, like a very inappropriate way. But this is how Oz knows how to build somebody up. And the writing is just brilliant for this relationship. But then my heart broke way more when he chose to stay. It was like, there goes like any chance at sort of purity and good moral choices the moment Vic chose to leave his girlfriend, to not leave Gotham, and to stay with Oz. The temptation got the best of him. It's the temptation of ambition, which was expressed in that conversation with his father, which was doubted by Oz when they first were talking. It's that temptation of all those things that you're not really supposed to pursue, especially like this, getting the best of Vic. And that was the moment that Vic's innocence was gone. Now let's talk about Sophia and Oz, okay? They are fucking awesome. From that first scene where they're talking to Link Sai to going all the way to Dr. Marvin Candle from Lost showing up at the club and dealing with the triads, the way that these two had to improvise and riff off of each other and kind of make up each other's BS and match each other's BS. Amazing. The acting, amazing.
And how about that ending?
Phenomenal. Come on. That scene with Oz and Sophia outside the club talking about, you can trust me, how do I trust you, let me show you, and then boom, it blows up in his face. And I did say last week, I think this is going to blow up in Oz's face. Those performances, come on, Colin Farrell wearing this makeup, the whole thing, he's got tears coming, like the welts in his eyes are starting to build. And the end of this episode is a home run. This is the moment I think the Penguin solidified itself as an Emmy Award nominee conversation type of show. I think these actors just put themselves in the conversation. This sequence, the writing, the execution, and the performances was 10 out of 10. Brilliant. No action needed. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm hooked. I'm invested. Guy like me means a lot. Whatever he said it exactly. Just phenomenal. Loved it. And then boom, the whole thing blows up in his face. I kind of saw this coming. You watched last week's video. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought this was going to blow up in Oz's face. I'm just one of the people who said it on the internet. But I was like, oh man, I'm kind of getting behind Oz and Sophia. it didn't even give me a second to breathe and support the two of them trying to take over this crime world of Gotham. He leaves Sophia behind. Honestly, I was kind of pissed. I'm kind of starting to like Sophia. First episode, I hated her. Now I'm like, okay, I like her. Well, Oz doesn't. I was like, peace out. I'm leaving with Vic, who just drove my Maserati into a henchman. It's good stuff, man. Phenomenal ending. And I think that this moment, when everything blows up in Oz's face, when Vic drives away with him and all this stuff goes down, they leave Sophia behind, I think that is the moment the first act of season 1 of The Penguin ended. Okay, so where's it all going now? Whew, it's harder to say this week than last week, because it was probably pretty obvious that this was all going to blow up in Oz's face. I mean, it kind of literally did. That was unexpected. Now, I think he has to really rely on Vic and any and every remote connection he has in Gotham to try to stay alive, because now I think both the Falcones and the Maronis are going to be after him. He's going to try to play Sophia and be like, I gotta get out of there, you know, whatever, I wanted to save you, I couldn't. I don't think she's going to take that. I think she's going to know he left her there. Maybe he plays dead. I don't know. I just think that man is cooked. Like I think Oz is cooked from both sides. I think he just lost his biggest ally, who he had tricked into being an ally in Sophia, and I think the Maronis are over it. But I did say at the top of the video that there was one detail that I think was going to come back to matter later in a big way. Last week, the Azumagia dropped a comment saying Penguin's biggest mistake would be giving his mother a necklace from Alberto's collection. We saw that jewelry come back into play in this episode, and there was an emphasis on how unique the jewelry is. So with Oz's mom roaming around, kind of getting lost in the sauce mentally, probably literally getting lost in the world at some point, that necklace is going to expose that Oz was the one who killed Alberto. Honestly, that might be a little bit of a weak piece of writing. Oz is quite smart. He might know better than to take a piece of evidence from the most life-threatening crime scene he ever put himself on and put it on his mother. But that does make sense, and I do think it's going to be a factor. Overall, phenomenal episode. Slowest middle portion of any episode so far. Phenomenal first scene. Loved the ending. Cannot wait to watch episode 4. I think that this show is doing an incredible job of exploiting talented people's talents, from acting to cinematography to set design to building out the world of Gotham that Matt Reeves started with the Batman. I feel like this world is so lived in that I just want to spend more time here. And I want that more now than I did after seeing the Batman. The Penguin has made me more invested in the Matt Reeves universe than the Batman did, if I'm honest. So for all those reasons and more, I'm giving this episode of The Penguin a 9.2 out of 10. That's my highest rating yet. I didn't even talk about how great the VD setup was. Really well done. Good job, Tina. You screwed VD over, literally. Nicely played Penguin. Nicely played Hangman. And they still have all those photos. This show, there's so much to talk about. Just keeps going. It just keeps going. What would you rate The Penguin episode 3 out of 10? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Please hit the thumbs up on this video because I think it helps the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel because, like I said at the top, we crossed 25,000 subscribers, and we'll see where this thing goes. And let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future. I'm BD. I'll see you in the next video.